And black folks don't embrace what folks are trying to do and fend that off, that upsets me because I am somebody that's trying to set a path for future folks on the come up from my community to be in this position one day.
Now facing a lawsuit in Miami from his ex, accusing him of battery, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and emotional distress. I mean, this does not look good. And he's had previous with his partner. Hands on women, I just can't agree with. It's just terrible. And it's so bad for boxing when a fighter is being accused of putting, I mean, that's my personal opinion on.
As reported, Jake Paul's return could shift to December with the November 14th Netflix exhibition in jeopardy due to the latest allegations against Gervonta Davis. Sources tell Ring Magazine that December 12th and the 19th are possibilities, right? And here are the potential opponents: Nate Diaz or Francis Ngannou.
StephenASmith didn't hold back, blasting Gervonta Davis for ruining his own career with reckless behavior and poor decisions outside the ring. Smith stressed that raw talent is meaningless without discipline and respect for boxing. With Davis's future now hanging by a thread, Jake Paul is shifting gears. Reports suggest he'll face a new opponent better suited to his weight, fighting style, and star power, ensuring the much-anticipated event still goes on.
Like Jake Paul.
I hate it. And Jake Paul's starting to piss me off. Mike Tyson is 57 years old, man. Jake Paul been training with professional boxing trainers for years. He takes the sport very seriously.
Thank you. So let me ask you, that's the question I have, because great kid, great businessman, by the way, amazing. And I know how he does all this, the character and the persona. We keep saying that he doesn't want to be a boxer. He's not a boxer, but then
Jake Paul is a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly. He's a boxer.
He can fight. He can fight. I respect it. So go in there against fighters. You should be climbing the ladder towards those other fighters and taking the sport seriously to the point where you're fighting actual boxers. Now he decides to fight a fighter, a real fighter, which is Tyson. But Tyson is 30 years older. Stop this nonsense of going against dudes that either ain't boxing or is 25 years removed from it.
Inside Ring Show has officially reported on X that Gervonta Davis is expected to be withdrawn from his November 14th Netflix exhibition against Jake Paul. The event is now likely to be postponed to December as organizers search for a new opponent. According to Mike Coppinger of The Ring, December 12th and 19th are being considered as possible dates for Jake Paul's next bout. Sources have revealed that boxing legend Andre Ward was contacted to check his availability, while names like Nate Diaz and Francis Ngannou are also being discussed. This update has sparked massive buzz across the boxing world, as fans eagerly debate who will step into the ring with Jake next. The Wade podcast analyst underscored that Jake Paul's team prioritizes maintaining financial control and safeguarding their public image above all else. They reportedly fear that Gervonta Davis's ongoing lawsuit could severely damage pay-per-view numbers, with many fans unwilling to support a fighter facing serious legal issues. The analyst added that Jake's team views reputation as equally important as revenue, and this controversy risks damaging both. The fight was initially planned to generate global hype through Netflix's massive platform, but now the narrative has completely shifted due to Davis's offering troubles.
Jake takes these fights very seriously, and I just thought, okay, this is going to get a little more interesting than I previously thought. I thought it would be a bit of a mismatch, a bit of a boxing experience to Gervonta Davis, Jake bringing the size and power, and we're going to get one of these stalemates where no one wants to take a real risk and both guys are going to get paid. Turns out no guy may get paid, or Gervonta Davis might be kicked off the card because we have a new, not champion, a new domestic violence abuse allegation against Gervonta Davis. There's been a lot of allegations against Tank, and some of those have been dropped, and others have not really been pursued, and you don't really know what's what behind the scenes with people, but when things like this happen over and over, I think this is his fourth or maybe fifth allegation of domestic abuse, you kind of start to have to look at the person that's being accused of such and go, why do you keep ending up in these situations? And the way it's described, we've even seen Tank do some of the things already on camera. But let's get into this thing, and then we'll just go right into the report from Chris Mannix here. Shout out Mannix. Obviously, you guys know him as a commentator with DAZN, covers boxing, covers basketball as well for SI. Chris Mannix on Twitter says, Netflix and reps for Jake Paul have been exploring potential replacements for Gervonta Davis. Sources familiar with the situation told SI Now. Paul Davis, scheduled for November 14th, is in limbo after new allegations of domestic violence against Gervonta Davis. I was in the car. I didn't know if this was real, but I had seen a report. And this came out, I think on October, it came out a couple days ago, but it was from October 27th. And there was a civil suit over domestic allegations just 2 weeks ahead of this fight. This is from Andreas Hale, our guy over at ESPN.com. He essentially wrote the article on it and went into details. So let's take a read. Gervonta Tank Davis has once again found himself in legal trouble just 2 weeks before his exhibition fight. And yes, it was going to be an exhibition. I know it was billed as a exhibition with, you know, a winner and loser, but let's be honest about it. Two guys, massively different weights, massively different experience. It was going to be an exhibition. On November 14th, a new civil lawsuit filed in Miami-Dade County has put the WBA lightweight champion in hot water over another.
Mike Coher, senior insider for Ring Magazine and co-host of Inside Ring Show, revealed on X that Jake Paul's highly anticipated return could be delayed until December, as the November 14th Netflix exhibition faces uncertainty due to the new allegations against Gervonta Davis. According to Coher and journalist Chris Mannix, potential replacement dates being discussed include December 12th and 19th. Sources further noted that Ryan Garcia and Terence Crawford were both approached as possible opponents, fueling rumors that major changes are coming to the event's lineup. Adding to the growing discussion, former world champion Carl Froch didn't hold back when addressing the chaos surrounding Jake Paul's next move. Froch described the original Davis matchup as more of a circus act than a legitimate sporting contest, saying it prioritized entertainment over competition. He argued that Jake Paul never needed to fight Davis in the first place, as there was little to gain from the matchup. With Davis now entangled in legal trouble, Froch believes it's time to move on and find a serious, credible opponent. He emphasized that boxing's obsession with spectacle over substance often backfires, and this controversy is the perfect example of that.
Until proven guilty, they say, right? Regardless of how many times he's been accused of this type of stuff, allegedly or not, it's still innocent until proven guilty. Now, if I have a contract with you, this doesn't involve you. You know, I understand you got a brand and public relations, all this type of stuff, but technically, this doesn't involve you. So you pulled my $200 Jake Paul contract. What if I'm innocent over here? You know who I'm coming after? I'm coming after you. I want my fucking money, or I want some compensation. But these big companies, they be having stipulations and little clauses in their contracts that give them the ability to cancel contracts for all different types of. I used to have those in.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates.